Hi everyone, hi. It's the 24th of September. I'm Steve Huey, the CEO of iFlyFlat. I'm here with my friend Lockie, and we're here to talk about travel.
Yeah. So there's been a bit in the news since we talked last week. There's always stuff in the news.
There's heaps of stuff.
Seem to be ramping up. Thought we'll have a bit of a chat today about that. The first thing, we were looking at this study before. It was more of a survey actually by Innocean. Am I pronouncing that right? And it was a Life in COVID Tracker 2020, and they had some interesting data that came out of this tracker, which revealed an overwhelming support for local travel. Most Aussies are keen to jump back in the car and experience their own regions around Christmas and into the new year. So yeah.
I thought I wanted to cover this because this is sort of something that we've always thought, and sometimes you think that this is the truth, but then this is actually backed up by this survey. So 6 in 10 Australians said that travel was the thing that they missed the most. So travel is an overall bucket. And then 53% of people said this, they were missing the social life from this pandemic. And really quite interesting was that 52% just grouped it up and said they miss freedom as what they were missed most. 17% of people said culture was they missed most. So therefore, it's quite interesting that actually it means that most people are traveling not for the culture, even though all the travel advertising always talks about going to places for the culture. Actually, they just miss travel for the sake of travel, and the freedom that travel brings.
Put the travel and the freedom on top of each other. And
yeah, that's right. That's 100%.
17%. So basically, people want to travel.
Yeah, and I think they just want the freedom aspect of having the ability to go anywhere they want. So I see that this coming school holidays, and I think most of domestic Australia will be booked out for the places that you can go.
Yeah, that's good.
So good survey. In Ocean, I think. In Ocean.
Yep. Yeah, he talks about here, so the past 6 months being devastating, but, COVID transforming the way that we're doing life. Therefore, it's a lot of people seems like are feeling optimistic about our future and that we're itching to get on the road this Christmas. So that's good. It's a great time. You were away just last week exploring around your area, different beaches.
Yeah. The local beaches are so cool. And then with South Australia now open, and I guess other borders that will soon to be open, fingers crossed that by Christmas it'll be all open, and hopefully they announce it before Christmas, because there's no way you'll be able to book a flight at Christmas to fly. So fingers crossed.
Yes, South Australia is a popular choice at the moment, and a Broome and some other areas around Australia. It's good to get out and explore our backyard. So also in the news, there was some talk about CBA launching their 0% card.
And NAB as well,
NAB as well, yeah. And actually even Amex, we were talking before, Amex then came out and said, surprise, we're going to do Planet installments, they call it.
Yeah, so everyone's jumping onto the buy now, pay later bandwagon. I guess the first thing I want to say is you've always had 0% interest cards from the day it started. And how do you get a 0% interest card? It's when you pay your balance in full each month and you never get charged interest. But I guess that aside, that's old school now. Now we've got all these actual 0% interest cards, which means that they actually don't charge you any interest. But banks got to make money. So not because they've got to make money, but the fact is that it costs money to actually send you a parcel. So, who's going to pay for that? Well, the way it works is that these 0% interest cards come with a monthly fee. So if you have a balance on that credit card, then you got to pay a monthly fee. And then that's what really is paying for everything.
And what about, can you earn points as well on some of these cards?
Yeah, no points.
Okay.
No points earned, because really the bank's already paying sort of so much out of their pocket. But the thing about points is, like, if you have the means to pay off your credit card in full, which is the right thing to do anyway, and you got a points earning credit card, the point itself is money. So rather than you worrying about not having to pay interest, you can actually get a credit card that gives you money back. There's a points cards, and every single point's worth between at least half a cent to 4 cents per point. So you're effectively potentially getting 0.5% to 4% cash back if you use it for travel. And actually, that reminds me, we wrote a blog about that before, so we'll include that in the show notes.
We'll put it in the notes below. So that's
the value about points.
So that's the catch, because some of these, they have the monthly fee. So you're borrowing $1,000, say, over the 12-month option. And I noticed just watching one of the videos there, it had 1,087. So it looks like there's an $87 fee just for borrowing that money. And that seems kind of cheap, but also remember, interest rates are very low. So it's not costing them much to actually give you that money, versus if you could pay that $1,000 off in 30 days, you could just pay it off on your credit card.
That's right. And actually get the points and get some money back.
So you get the money back instead of paying for. So there's always a catch with these things. So it's interesting that they're dabbling in this buy now, pay later scheme. The other thing was interesting. We've got some buy now, because someone was asking us about this. Can you earn points of the buy now, pay later scheme? And Afterpay and some others have started to dip their toe in that space, but not on the each. Not on the spend, sign up, more of an onboarding tactic.
Onboarding, so to activate you, to get you to onboard and sign up. I think they're just testing the ground and sort of seeing how that works. I'm not sure if the model can fund ongoing points as much as credit card companies can, because the thing about credit card companies is obviously they can make money if you don't pay on time, interest, but also they make money from the retailer, it's merchant fees. Where if there's companies like Afterpay, just for example, they only make money through the retailer. They make money from you if you have late fees, but they try not to make any late fees, ideally. It's not really part of their core model to make money from late fees.
Interesting. Well, it'll be interesting over time how that turns out, because, if the retailers are the only ones paying these fees, eventually something has to give way, with the consumer paying one of the fees, which it looks like this is the model the banks have gone down already by charging a fee. So, but no points.
No points. Well, no such thing as a free lunch. Ultimately, someone has to pay.
That's true.
And you really want a system where someone else pays, not you.
Yes. Yeah. Using points to fly business class.
Someone else pays for that big time. Yeah. Not you.
Another thing in the news was, when we were talking about this before, was the testing. There's been every week there seems to be new news around the testing, and how, we can't just wait for a vaccine. We need tests as well, fast tests. I saw through a headline there was Donald Trump getting up there talking about we bought 15 million new of these tests, not to be political, but that these 15-minute tests that were very, very fast. But we were looking into it before, and some of these tests, they have about a 98% sensitivity. So there's a chance for a 2% false negative.
So 2% on the surface sounds, 2% error rate actually normally sounds really, really awesome. If you were going to do something, if you were to bungee jump or something, and 98% of people survive, 2% don't. I don't know what you feel.
Yeah.
How many people have jumped already? But this is actually the same idea. But so 98% is a high level of accuracy. So that's pretty cool. But when we look at the numbers, and the magic is in the detail, Sydney Airport pre-COVID was getting 46 million passengers a year. So if you apply 2% error rate to those 46 million people, that's a lot of people. And that means that they're coming in here thinking that they're negative, but actually positive, and then spreading it around. So therefore, the 2% error rate is too high.
Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. And if we double back the testing, do you think that was the way? We talked about this before about in cybersecurity they call it a zero trust model, where basically everyone, and this happens at airports already, right? You go, everyone, whether you're a pilot, a staff, the public, we all go through an X-ray machine, and they check for drugs and bombs. So basically everyone gets tested in a sense. But then when you go through transit, then you will usually get tested again. Not sure if the pilots get tested. If you transit over and you land in Hong Kong, you go through another door and you go through another X-ray. But
I think everyone gets tested, because the only way that zero trust model can work is that each local airport each local city or country has their standards, and they can't rely on someone else in some other country saying, "Oh, I trust you," because the consequences are huge. Obviously, right now we've got massive health consequences, but but previously we were worried about terrorism, bombs, knives, and stuff. Which, if you put into context, it's really interesting that those things might hurt maybe 100 people, 200 people, 300 people on a plane, and the steps you have to go through now. But COVID, it can hurt 3, 4, 5,000 people easily for just one mistake.
So we can probably expect, if we do implement this, there needs to be the double testing on both sides. Otherwise, those false negatives, when you expand that out across millions of people a year,
it's huge numbers.
It works out to be hundreds of thousands of people that could potentially walk through with negative.
Yeah, so but they infect others. That's the I guess the problem is
on the plane. If you're sitting in economy and you're cramped together,
one becomes many. So one false positive walks through, becomes 5 by the end of the day. It becomes like 50 by the next morning type thing. So that's it's pretty mind-boggling if you think about it. So I think hats off over to the health officials and stuff. How did they manage this chaos?
Well, it's good because to see, I guess, the different parts of it coming together. For us to get travel back into a great place, we're all moving around the world safely and securely. It's going to take multiple pieces of the puzzle. The vaccine's one piece, the testing and the double testing is another piece.
Double testing, yeah.
And you've got technologies, the monitor heat of people, and all this kind of stuff all coming together. So good news, this week we're seeing more and more, technology come out and more investment, and more good news around that. But it's going to be bit by bit that we're going to rebuild this puzzle.
And I fully agree with you. This technology examples is coming up, which means that if you overlay them, for example, if everything had a 98% accuracy or 2% error rate, if you overlay it, then that actually reduces the error rate to be quite small, more acceptable. So, like you said, double testing. So it means that 2% error rate on 2%. Imagine if you triple test it, then that means that you've actually comes down to a really small number, which becomes acceptable. And actually, the other part of the 15-minute test was that the cost it was only $10 per test. Means that it actually came down to a cost that was actually that means that it can be delivered en masse. Still expensive, no doubt, but not as expensive as keeping everything shut.
Well, the interesting part was that they said they don't have to have a nurse or anyone to do the test, so it didn't require a certain set of medical skills. And $10 actually, it seems quite quite low when you compare, other things around medical costs. Bit by bit.
Yeah, so that's good news. So next week when we meet, we might have some more new news because I think they're releasing, about a week. There's something promising.
Every week, more stuff coming out. Well, we have some questions here, but we might have to leave it there.
We keep it short
today. Chatting about what's going on. But we'll put the link in the show notes about the survey and the articles that we talked about today. And we'll chat again next week, hopefully with more good news.
Cool,
answer some of these questions. And if you have a question, ask Steve at iflyflat.com.au.
Yeah, keep them coming through. Like sometimes we get questions that are very similar, so I try and cover them in one go rather than sort of answering those ones. But I'm sort of getting the gist. So definitely send them over. And for this week, bye for now.
Bye for now.
See ya.